Okay, for this project I'm using a size H 5mm crochet hook, and I'm using Peaches and Cream 100% cotton yarn. It's 4-ply, but any 4-ply will work just fine. And you want to start off with a chain of 21. I'm doing a chain of 21. You can actually make it as long as you want. This is going to be like how tall it's going to be, and then it'll fold in half. So I'm doing 21, but if you want it bigger or smaller, you can. Just any number of chains. But then you want to single crochet, second stitch from the hook. And then we're just going to single crochet 1 in each stitch across for the length of the chain. And all this is going to be is just rows of single crochet. Okay, and then when you get to the end, this is what we're going to do every time we get to the end. It's really easy. We're just going to, we're going to get to the end, and then we're just going to chain 1 and turn our work. And then we're going to start another row of single crochet starting in the next stitch. So not that one, but this one. And just do 1 single crochet in every stitch across again until you get to the end of the row. And that's what we're going to do. Just keep doing rows of single crochet. And I'm not quite sure how many rows I'm going to do yet, so I'm going to go ahead and finish, and then I'll let you know here in just a second. Okay, I did a total of 30 rows. If you want to do yours longer, that's fine. You can. Just do it till you get it as long as you want, and then tie off. And then I'm going to go around it with a row of single crochet just to clean up the edges. So started with a slip knot on my hook, and you're going to start in any corner that you want. You go through that slip knot on your hook. Okay. Then you want to chain 1, and we're going to put 2 single crochets in each corner. So I'm going to go back into that and do a single crochet, because that chain 1 counts as 1 single crochet. And then we went back in it with another one. Now we're just going to go along and put 1 single crochet in every stitch all around the project. But in the corners we'll put 2 single crochets. And some of these stitches on the side are going to be kind of hard to see, so you just kind of want to evenly space your single crochets the best that you can. So just like that, and that's just going to clean up these edges a little bit, make them look a little bit neater. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and don't forget to put 2 in each corner all the way back to the beginning. Okay, when you get back all the way back around after your row of single crochet, you just want to slip stitch into that first chain 1 that you made, and then you can tie off. And go ahead, this would be a good time to go ahead and hide all the tails. And then we're going to make a couple pockets for the inside. Okay, this is what we have so far. So it's going to fold like this. And then we'll put a strap here in a little bit. But first, when you open it up, I want it to have a couple pockets and a change thing over here. So we're going to need to make some of these right here. And we'll sew them on in a little bit, but on this side, this will be for like money or credit cards or whatnot, whatever you want to put in it. For this, you can customize it to any size that you want, and it's just going to be rows of single crochet too. But I did a chain of 13 for mine. just kind of measured across here about halfway, and I made it a little bit shorter, but you can do yours different if you want. And then it's just a single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and then one in every stitch all the way down to the end of the chain, just like we did for the main portion of the bag. And then when we get to the end, all we're going to do is chain one and turn, and keep going with rows of single crochet. And you can do it for as tall as you want. I did 10 rows on mine, and you can make as many as you want, but I think I'm just going to make the 2 pockets, and then we'll sew them on, and I'm going to make like a bigger one over here for a change thing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this pocket, and then I'll get right back with you. Okay, I got my 2 little credit card holder things made, and they're going to be kind of overlapped like that. And if you wanted to do another one, you could. But before I sew them on, I'm going to go ahead and make a change pocket for over here. I'm going to get all my pieces together, and then I'll sew them on at the same time. And for this, we're going to do it the same way, but you just want to lay it out and measure long ways, and it'll go like this. So however big you want it to get on this side, I did a chain of 16, and then I'm going to single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and single crochet in every stitch to the end of the chain. And when I get to the end of the chain, I'm just going to chain one and turn, and keep going with rows of single crochet. And I'm not quite sure how many rows I'm going to do, so I'm going to go ahead and finish, and I'll let you know how many rows I do in just a second. Okay, I got this piece done, and I did 12 rows. Now that's going to be hooked on like that, and I want to make a little flap for it with a button. So I'm going to need to make another piece the same width as this one, and I did 16 chains for this one. So, and whatever you did, if you did the same, and you want to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then one single crochet in every stitch across, just like before. And this is going to be sewed on separately from this, but then it's going to flap over and button to it. And then when you get to the end here, you just want to chain one and turn, and do rows of single crochet again. And I'm not quite sure how many rows I'm going to do on this. I need to do a few rows, and then I need to leave room, make a buttonhole on this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few rows before I start working on the buttonhole. So I'll let you know how many I do, and then I'll show you how to put the buttonhole in this piece. Okay, I did 4 rows so far for my little flat part, and now I want to leave a buttonhole. So I want to find the center of my piece here, and I have 15 single crochet spaces across, and I want to find the center 3. So I'm going to need to leave 3 in the center blank. So I'm going to single crochet 6 this way and 6 this way. That would be 12, and then the 3 in the center would make 15. So I'm going to leave them blank. So what I'm going to do is chain one and turn. And if you did the same as me, same numbers as me, you follow me along. If you did different, a bigger piece or smaller piece, you find the center of yours and single crochet until you get to the center. I'm single crocheting 6 single crochets, and then I'm going to leave 3 spaces empty, and in place of them 3 spaces I'm going to do a chain 3, and then I'm just going to reach over here past these 3 and single crochet into the one right after them. And then I'm going to single crochet in each stitch to the end of the row. And that is my buttonhole. Should be right pretty close to the center there. Now I'm going to chain one and turn my work, and I'm going to single crochet again, one in every stitch. And then when I get to my chain, I'm just going to single crochet in the 3 chain spaces that I made. And then I'm just going to continue single crocheting across. One in every stitch. Like that. And that's what we got. I'm going to chain one and turn. I'm going to do one more row of single crochet on top of this. And then I think that's all I'm going to do for the little flappy part of the coin purse, or the pocket on it, whatever you want to use it for. And I'm just going to tie off, flip my yarn, and I always kind of give it a good stretch. And it's going to be kind of like this, and we'll sew it like that, and we'll sew a button here on this inside piece. But one other thing I'm going to do before I start sewing on to all these pieces, I'm going to go around each one of these pieces that I've made before I sew them on with a single crochet. I'm going to do it in a different color for each piece, but you can do it in the same color or whatever you want. But I'm just going to start up in the corner, and I'm going to do one single crochet in every stitch except for the corners. I'm going to do 2. So it's just going to be like we did when we went around the big piece. Okay, start there and chain 1 and go back into that same stitch with the single crochet. And then I'm just going to go around it with 1 single crochet in every stitch. Just like this. Just to give it a little color. But I mean, if you already made yours with color, I mean, you can go around it with whatever you want. Plus it cleans up the edges nicely. Okay, and then when I get to this corner, I just put 2 single crochets in the corner. And then just continue around again, doing 1 single crochet in each stitch, just like that. And I want to go around every piece, the 2 pocket pieces I made, and then this is gonna be the coin purse thing with the button. You want to go around this too, and all of it, each thing with a row of single crochet. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish mine up. Okay, I went around all my pieces with single crochet. Now we're going to sew them on. So we're just imagining that it folds over kind of like that. So I have it open here, and here's my buttonhole. I want to make sure it goes like that. So this is going to get sewed on these sides, but this is going to be open like a pocket. Then we'll attach this, and it'll get sewed on at the top, so it can, and just a little bit down each side, so we can open it like that. And we'll attach a button, and then we got our 2 little I don't know, whatever they're for, credit cards or something. We're going to sew them overlapped just down the 3 sides here and these 3 sides, and they'll be overlapped like that, just a little bit. And what I'm using to sew on is just a regular thread needle and thread that I doubled up. I'm not using yarn. So I'm just going to start. Let me move everything. I'll start with this one, the one that's underneath. And I'm just going to sew. It's knotted the end of my yarn. And I just want to make some small stitches right through it. And I'm just sewing on, since I made mine white, I'm using white yarn, and I'm just sewing right along the edge of the white. But you probably want to use whatever color yarn to match your project, so you won't be able to see the stitches. And I'm just going right through the back. You shouldn't be able to see these stitches very well if you use the matching color. And I'm using the single lines of single crochet as my guide, so I get it sewed on straight. And this is how we're going to do all of our pieces, sewing them on. And I suppose it would, if you wanted to use yarn, that would work too. I'm just using a thread and needle, so when I go through the other side, it's so thin that you're not really going to see the stitches on the other side. That's why I'm doing it. I think it would be, it's a little better that way. And I'm just going to go around the bottom side of it. And I'm going to continue sewing this and this. I got this one sewed on. Now I'm going to line this one up. I'm just going to overlap it just a little bit like that. And then I'm just going to sew down this side, and this side. Leave the top part open, just like we did on the other one. Make sure it's all straight. Follow your lines here. Just going to sew it the same way. And using this thread, you can't even see any stitches on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this one off camera, these 3 sides right here. Got my 2 little pockets sewed on. Now I'm going to sew on my big one over here like this. And it's going to get sewed on the same way. I'm going to sew down these 3 sides. And I'm going to leave my top open. So you want to make sure you find a line to follow. And just sew it the same way with some thread. Just like this. And after we get this one sewed on, we're just going to sew on the flap right up here. I'm just going to sew along the top here. And then I'm going to add a button. I got all my pieces sewed on. I sewed this across the top and just a little bit down the edges till I meet this one. And then I just sewed a button on. And that's what we have so far. Now I need to put a strap across the top. And I'm going to do some bead work on it too. Put some beads on it. Just for decoration on the outside. But for the strap across the top, just start with a slip knot on your hook, and you want to find the center of your piece. So you just count your stitches across. Okay, I have 20. I want to take my center 2. So if I take 2 away, that'll leave me 18. And then I need to have 9 stitches on this side and 9 stitches on that side left. So 9 and 9 is 18. Plus the 2 stitches that I'm going to leave will be 20. So just start up in the corner. And you find the center of yours if you did a different size. Then just make sure you find the center. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, for this strap, chain 1 once you get up in the corner, and then I'm just going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch for my 9 stitches. So 9 stitches across until I get to my center. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and go into my 9th one. I hope that you understand that. And then I'm going to leave these 2 open, and then I'll have 9 left. Well, I'm not going to leave them open, but here's my 2 center ones. So what I'm going to do is, I did my 9. Whatever yours is for the center. Go into one of the center stitches, do a single crochet, and then do a chain. And then go into the next one and do a single crochet, just like that. So that'll be what we have over the other side, and then finish out your stitches, and I should have 9 left. 1. I hope you understood that. Just or whatever is easiest for you to find your 2 center stitches, like I just did. So you can put a single crochet, your chain 10, and then a single crochet in the other. However you can do it, that's easiest for you. That's how I do it, but it kind of does sound confusing when I say it. Okay, and then when I get to the end, I'm just gonna tie my work off and hide my tail. I went ahead and sewed my button on. And when you sew your button, you just want to make sure that you do it from the inside of, if it lands on a pocket, wherever you put it, so it don't sew your pocket shut. Okay, now I'm going to put some beads along the front here. Okay, putting these beads on, you want to just start with thread and a little knot at the end, and go from, just go on the inside of it like that, so your knot's on the inside. And then you just string 1 bead at a time. It's not hard at all. It just is a little time consuming, that's all. And you put it on there, and then you just weave it inside the stitches up, and that ties that bead down. And then you get another one. I'm not putting them in any pattern or anything, I'm just putting them wherever. And then go back through about the same spot, weave it in, tie that one down, and grab another. And go back through and weave wherever you want your next bead to come out at. Grab another. Go back through and weave where you want your next one to come out at. And pull that tight. Pulls that one, holds that bead down when you pull on it. Another bead. And then I'm just weaving it on the top of the stitches. And then wherever I want my next bead to come out is where I poke it through. And I grab another one. That's all there is to it, really. It's really easy. Weave it. Like I said, it's not hard. It's just a little time consuming. But it makes it look pretty. If you decide to do this, you don't even have to do this. Like this. And then I'd put another bead on, and that's how I do it. I'm just going to do this all over the bag, or all over the wallet, the front of it. Just putting them everywhere. And I got one side done of it already. It took me a little while to do it, I guess, but not bad. But that's what it'll look like when I finish the other side. I'm going to go ahead and end my video now, and I'll just finish this up in a little bit. And now that you know how to do it and I showed you how, that's all there is to it. It's real easy. And I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. I hope you were able to follow along okay. Don't forget to check out all my other videos and like and subscribe to my channel, and you can check out my Facebook page too. And until next time, have a good day.